chair. I need to get one. I'm thinking of getting one.
Love this gaming chair.
Oh yeah, by who?
And a seat.
And the seat? Oh, okay, never
And
heard.
a seat. Got it from Staples.
Oh yeah, how about what are the popular one? You can only get online. Secret Lab.
I couldn't sit in it, so I don't know anything about it. I just looked at what was at Staples.
Yeah. Okay. I know that's the thing. You can't really try it out. Those chairs. You just have to buy and hope for the best, and you can't really refund it. There's a stocking fee and delivery. So do we know how many are are in?
Yeah, that's a good question. So for those listening, if you are here, this is we're trying something new with this user group. We're doing a live stream, so forgive us if just forgive us. So I posted a chat in the message. There is our stream. 2 people watching now. Maybe that's you and I don't know.
2 people. Is that us?
Yeah, it's probably us.
All right.
It's a good question. But when we tested this out yesterday, I only saw 1. And that was me. So unless you have the YouTube video up and running, then there's probably somebody else here. Oh, you do? Okay, so. What's nice is that the StreamYard actually pulls in the comments from the YouTube. So I can actually just comment from inside StreamYard. I don't have to go to the YouTube page to do it.
Do you hear feedback?
Nope.
Oh, I hear feedback. Maybe there's something going on my end.
You want to disconnect and reconnect?
No. I think because do I have like 2 StreamYards going or?
Oh yeah, make sure you only got 1.
But okay, how about now?
You sound fine both times.
Oh, you know what? Maybe because that other YouTube live was taking my mic. I closed the other YouTube live sessions that I had up.
Okay, well, we'll give it a couple minutes. Looks like we have one attendee right now. Welcome. Roy, have you tried out, since we're a .NET user group, have you tried out the new Visual Studio 2022 and .NET 6 yet?
No, not at all. No. How about you?
I got two projects with it right now, like .NET 6. I got to say I'm having a hard time getting used to this minimal top-level project structure where they just get rid of everything.
Okay.
And you can manually put that code back, or you can install .NET 5 project templates, create a new project in .NET 5, and then upgrade to 6. And then you get all the you get all the code that you're familiar with.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm gonna keep playing with it for new projects, but I find it just a little.
Yeah.
It's a top level statement. So if you do like a file new console application, your program file, program CS, has one line of code in it. It just says console.writeline.
Yeah.
They forego the namespace, the public class, and the public static void main. All that's gone, and all the using statements are gone. So it just takes a little time to get used to, but
they'll drive me crazy.
It is driving me crazy. And there's no way to add it back unless you like go file new, install the old .NET 5 templates. If you upgrade an existing code, then you're fine. But if you do file new, it's a bit, it takes a while to get used to.
Yeah. All right, let's.
Okay, so maybe 6:07 here. Let's get started.
Okay.
So I'll share my screen, just the intro deck.
Sure.
Share. Okay, so tonight's talk. So welcome to Canada's Technology Triangle.net user group. I'm your organizer, Callum Campbell, and co-host is Roy Kim. Roy, I need a picture to stick on the slide deck.
Okay, sure.
We have our code of conduct, so if you're interested in taking a look at that, please go online and take a look. It's the same code of conduct that's always been there with the .NET user group. And in tonight's session, love to tweet, so please follow us at CTTDNUG on Twitter. Use the hashtag CTTDNUG Azure. Oh, it's going fast. And all right, let me end. That didn't go well. Okay, so include these hashtags. Please ask a question or make a comment in YouTube live chat, and I will use that for drawing a swag. We have some swag from JetBrains, so I'll send you a license. Upcoming events. There is UnoConf has something going on end of the month, live event on November 30th. If you're into the Uno stuff, please take a look. It looks really interesting what they're developing. In January, there's a global AI bootcamp. This is a global event taking place 14th and 15th. There's meetup groups all over the world for this, so have a look. For December, we'll have no meetup since we usually meet up near the end of the month. It's holiday time. And in January, we'll be looking to do a .NET Conf, sort of a community review. So we'll have some people come in and talk about some of the stuff that was announced earlier this month at .NET Conf. If anyone is looking to be a speaker, please reach out to either of us if you have something related to .NET, .NET MAUI, and Azure. We'd love to hear from you. Okay, so that's it from me. Roy, please take it away on your side.
Okay, cool. Do you guys see my screen?
Not yet. You gotta go bottom and say share screen.
Okay. Okay, it was sharing. Okay. Okay. Hold on. As I'm sharing, it's it's kind of freezing. It's just the Chrome browser is not responding, so I don't know, just give it a moment. So yeah, this talk is about using Azure Monitor Insights. Azure Monitor Insights and using Grafana with Azure Kubernetes Service to monitor your applications. So, oh geez. Hello, you hear me?
Yeah, I still hear you, Roy. Well, we don't see your desktop though. Hey, Roy. Roy, you want to disconnect and reconnect? I think you're having some connectivity issues.
Hey.
Hey, I hear you now.
Okay, did I disappear for a while?
You did.
Okay. Yeah, no, I was clicking share and then my browser, it froze up, like not responding. So that's what happened. And then I just killed the browser session. Okay. Okay, anyways, now I'm sharing.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Okay, I'll go on mute. Just let me know if you need anything.
Yeah, okay. All right. Hey everyone. So thanks for joining. So this one is talking about my talks about Azure Monitor, Insights, and Grafana for monitoring purposes for your apps in Azure Kubernetes Service. So a little bit about me. My name is Roy Kim. Been working on the Microsoft technology stack for all of my career. Lately, I've been focusing on Azure, some Microsoft 365, and also particularly Kubernetes, right, for enterprise applications. I'm a 5-time Microsoft Azure MVP, independent consultant, and my blog website is roykim.ca. I graduated from University of Toronto with a computer science degree. So the agenda is we're just looking at what Azure Kubernetes is. Look at some applications I'm demoing in a Azure Kubernetes Service environment, and looking at kind of the tooling and around Prometheus and Grafana for monitoring. Okay, so and then we'll do a Q&A. So just to jump in, for those who don't know what is Azure Kubernetes, so it's really to host containerized applications, okay, of all sorts, especially microservices, and and really, and I've been working with Kubernetes for like 2+ years, and and you're making the most of kind of availability, resiliency, auto scale, even at a granular level, and in Azure Kubernetes cluster, you can host many apps, okay, and take advantage of containerized technology, right? Where things are spinning up quickly and have resources assigned to them like CPU and memory. So this is what a Kubernetes cluster looks like. What's Azure? So what makes AKS Azure Kubernetes? It is what it is that it's um, there's an Azure managed side on the left, and then there's a customer managed side, right? So the left side is really a black box. The customer manager side is a bunch of a bunch of VM nodes, okay, with a VNet with it, or and an internal load balancer. So in my Kubernetes cluster, I've deployed various applications here. Um, a guest book app, a book info app, voting app, and to-do list app, right? So let me do a quick uh, demo of them, right? So one of them is this .NET app. Okay, whoops, I should go to the repo. So um, so this is your standard like .NET .NET Core application, right? And having a SQL backend, right? So it's just a to-do list application, very simple. What I've done was I've containerized it, right? So in Visual Studio, you can go right-click and then add a Docker file, and so it just creates a Docker file. I just use that. I don't really tweak it much more than that. And then that creates like a Docker image. And then you put it into what you call a Azure Container Registry. And then you have to build out your YAML files, your Kubernetes manifest, to pull in those images and deploy them into your Kubernetes cluster, right? So let's see here. let me find, pull up. So, let's see here. Okay, so okay, I'm in this VM here. Okay, and we can go through some of these applications. So that to-do list app is like .NET. This is what it looks like. You can create new item, add an item in here, and then has one of these. You can edit. Oh, whoops. Okay, that's not a little bug there, but you can edit and save to database and things like that. So this is something I've had before. To-do list items. Okay, in my Azure Kubernetes environment or cluster, and I have a bunch of other ones. A voting app where you can vote. Kind of cats and dogs. Okay, and then reset that. There's something called a guest book app where you can sign in, um, Bob, etc. Okay. This is your very like your simplest tutorial app you get in Microsoft Docs. It's kind of like as simple as just one page. Okay. So here is a book info app, right? Book details, book reviews. Each time I'm hitting refresh. So this is kind of a more of a microservices architecture. And the reviews here on the right is going through like different versions of this microservice, this reviews microservice, right? I'll talk about that more, kind of what it means, but there's 3 versions, one without a star, one with the red star, and one with black stars, right? And there's 3 versions of the review, and then traffic is kind of round robin going through those 3 versions, right? So it's just traffic shifting here, right? So um, and so that's that. So that's what I have mostly in my AKS cluster, and we're gonna see like how do we monitor with these, right? Like how do we get some metrics, CPU, memory, disk, network, especially the ones with Istio Service Mesh involved, right? Which is the book info app. Okay, so what we have here is so let me revert to a load test tool that I like to use called JMeter. It's free. And the way it works is that you basically add HTTP requests called HTTP sampler right here, HTTP request, and you add like the various URLs. Okay. And so these ones are the various URLs. And then these down here that are kind of purplish in color are your kind of your types of reports, like how you want to see them. Okay, but I want to show how you can see the metrics, the output, CPU usage using Azure Monitor Insights and Grafana, right? So, but with this one, I'm gonna like clear this up. I ran it like an hour ago, but I'm gonna start running it. So it's gonna run for like 15 30 minutes, I think. Says here 2000 seconds. Okay. And then what I have here is 500 you know what do you call 500 virtual users, right? So kind of 500 users going at it concurrently. So it's quite a bit of load. Okay, and this VM is about like 16 gigs of RAM, right? So that it can support generating this much load on my Kubernetes cluster against these URLs. So it's just doing HTTP requests at the moment. Okay, so it's really hitting these sites. Okay, right now. So let that run. Okay, and let me go back to my slide deck here. So from an So back to my slide deck here. Whoops. Okay, hopefully you guys can hear me. I think a little hiccup in my USB ports. So here I drew up a architecture diagram of all these apps that are in here. So really, they're kind of logically separated or partitioned by namespaces. So the dark purple here are application oriented. So your guestbook app, the Hello World app, Book Info, and of the voting app you see there, right? And then kind of like the green namespaces are more about kind of operational, right? Or supporting the applications, right? So we have here at the bottom Prometheus and Grafana, which I'll get into. Here on the left is more around the ingress traffic, like ingress controllers. So I have two types, one by Nginx, one by Istio. So really, with the AKS cluster comes a load balancer, and in order for your traffic, your browser clients to access, you have to have an ingress controller. Okay, so I'm just demonstrating here that I can have two and two at the same time. Normally just typically need one, but I just want to show for how flexible and versatile a Kubernetes cluster is, right? And of course, down at the bottom here, you can leverage other Azure resources such as your Azure Container Registry, which that's a given. Have RBAC, so for people who are logging into your Kubernetes cluster, they can have read-only to certain namespaces, and you can tie that into an Azure AD user or Azure AD group. And then we have monitoring, log analytics workspace, and manage disks for persistent storage for various applications. So let me talk about, okay, let's skip, maybe I'll talk about auto scaling later. But here we have Grafana, and I just want to show you kind of the architecture. Actually, wait a minute, I'm kind of jumping ahead. Let me demonstrate Azure Monitor insights first, so if I may. Let's see here. So if we go to the Azure portal, okay, and we go to the AKS cluster, which we have right here, okay, and down below we have something called insights. Okay, this is something that when you query, you have to enable and then tie it into a log analytics workspace. So here we have a dashboard, we have node CPU utilization, node memory utilization, active pod count, number of nodes, right? And so this is good, fundamental kind of information. If we check on the live button, okay, we have that JMeter load test going on. So here we do see some kind of live uh, data coming in. Okay, so right now node memory utilization is at 80%. That's pretty high. CPU utilization at 60%, kind of the max, So it's taking on considerable load. Okay, we switch off the live and we kind of want to see the last 6 hours. Let's see if it's going to show that. So we can see here that we've had some load and activity coming on here because I ran that load test at this time range, and then right now, as you can see, it's ramping up. Right, there's one actively occurring right now. Okay, and then we see memory utilization as well. Okay, let's see here. Let's put the last. I think yeah, 6 hours is good. So we have these metrics. Okay, node count is pretty important, right? It's the number of nodes. So we have right here 7 nodes at one point down, and right now currently at 5 nodes. Okay, And what that looks like is from the one node pool we have here, we have well, 6 nodes. Okay, so I think the 6th one was just created, and all it is just VMs, and we have auto scale kind of enabled right here, and they're taking on standard D2 V3 sizes, so 2 virtual CPUs and 8 gigs of memory. Okay. Um, so if we go back to that, back to insights. So then we can drill down even further. Okay. So we have something called reports, which I really don't find all that useful. Let's see here. Let's see what it looks like. So far, I don't find it very, very useful. Like, but from a day-to-day perspective, but it gives you a report. So a deployment is basically an app that's containerized, and in here you can kind of see the trends. Whoops. Okay. Oh yeah, right here. Okay, okay. The trends happening right here. Okay. So and the general health. Okay. And then we can filter by kind of warning. So then here you can kind of dig in and investigate. Okay, and then we can filter by namespaces as well, right? So, okay, going back, whoops, to insights, we can look at each node, kind of its health. I normally don't, from a day-to-day perspective, I don't really go into here all that much, but if there's any issue with contention of resources, if there's a lot of kind of like here red, and or if you want to see how effective auto scale is working, then you can kind of look at this, right? So we have here at the moment 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 nodes, and let's go back to here the node count here. So that which is, whoops, yeah, pretty much 6. So it could be that you have more nodes here because, okay, so these are unlinked, right? So, but these are the active ones, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here's the 6 that is being, which is it's speaking of, okay? Unlinked, this could be that it was kind of unscheduled or it was killed, right? And then if we go to controllers, it kind of goes one level deeper into kind of individual deployments across the nodes, okay? And so if here's a WordPress app that I deployed, and you can see various details on that as well. Okay, and then, so I normally like to look at this part right here to see the trend and how many millicores it has. So if this is red, then maybe your Kubernetes resources that you define, like the request limit and requests, maybe you want to bump it higher. So that's an indication that you want to do that. Okay, so it's pretty high, and you want to bump that up. You know, or if horizontal pod auto scaling is applied to this deployment or this controller, then what can happen is more replicas can be created, right, to kind of auto scale at deployment level. Here we have containers, which is kind of another level of granularity that you can see here, right? So with controllers, let's see here, uptime containers. See here, where's the book? So to do info. Okay, it's not showing up. Okay. In any case, so that's another area to look at. So any questions so far? No? Okay, so I'll move on. So okay, so the other tool that you can use to monitor is Grafana. Okay, so Grafana is open source. This in itself is deployed into the same Kubernetes cluster. And also something called Prometheus is also installed. So Grafana is really a dashboarding tool, right? But it works in conjunction with Prometheus. Okay, so Prometheus, it collects all the metrics, okay, of kind of CPU memory requests, HTTP traffic, disk, all those things, right? So, so this collects all that information. And what Grafana does is just your charting and reporting and data visualization tool. It does not do actual like collection of data. It hooks into your Prometheus. So both of these in my setup is deployed and configured and hosted in the same Kubernetes cluster. Okay, so let me go into a demo of kind of what Grafana looks like. So we have here, let's see here. So, so this, what you see is running in the Kubernetes cluster, and we have various dashboards, okay, that you can build and query. So here, we can tap into the Prometheus as the data source, and we can get, for example, Istio requests, okay? And we can do a time range of the last 3 hours. So it's nice and fast. I like how detailed you get with the information. Than Azure Monitor Insights for Kubernetes. So this I like it a lot better. Okay, so what this means is in the Istio service mesh, right? The number of requests that are being that are upon each, let's say, I filter it by here, right? So by each Kubernetes like service object, um, basically we have a rate function over 5 minute, a 5 minute range, right? So it's kind of getting like the um, is doing a calculation over the 5 minute range. If you want more granularity, you can do 1 minute. Okay, run query. And there you go, right? So, or you can do 15 minutes. And it's a bit smoother, right? So so you have that capability. Here is another kind of a query where it's based on CPU usage. Okay, here you can see kind of let's try the last 3 hours over kind of so here you see namespace equals guestbook app, right? So it's really all the pods that are using that that namespace, or that are within that namespace, and kind of getting an aggregation, right, over kind of 1 minute. So here you can see a load test was started and how one is currently being worked on right here. Okay, so and then we can filter by um, kind of per line, or and then so So another cool thing is instead of building out your dashboards, you can take this and you can build out a dashboard or a panel, uh, add a graph, and then stick in your query. So, like for example, I have that here, and then you can choose kind of like how you want it to look, as any visualization tool, and what kind of your panel title, etc. However you like. It's pretty cool. And then finally, you can set alerts, right? So let's say that with this query, if it hits a certain threshold, like 75, then you can send out kind of an email. Okay, so that's pretty cool, right? So the other thing is you can go to the Grafana Labs website and look for like pre-built dashboards. Okay, and it's very easy. So you just get the ID of it, and then you do like an import. All right, so you import. Let's see here. Whoops. Import. Oops, you paste an ID. That it'll retrieve it from your Grafana website. So 741. Whoops. So where was? I think that was 741, and I choose my data source, and then I import. And then here I have a pre-built dashboard, this is a pretty good one, right? You see it's memory usage, CPU, number of replicas. Let's see here. Let's say over the last 3 hours, how often you want to the auto refresh. So deployment CPU. So then here you can apply like alert rules and or conduct troubleshooting exercises when you feel like there's contention, right, in your workloads. You can do further filtering. So let's see here. So like you see a list of like even apps that are more operational. They're not like user facing or but it's going against all applications hosted, right? Um, let's see here. So even Grafana itself, like you see here Grafana, and you can see the metrics on Grafana itself, okay, because it is part of the Kubernetes cluster, okay. Apparently not much info at the moment. Okay, but if we look at an app, let's see, what's a good one? Product page, which is the book info app, the front end portion. Let's see if it shows any data here. Okay, not quite. Okay, well, let's look at some other dashboards. So if we look here, home. So the Istio kind of workload dashboard. So now we can go to that product page, that book info app, and then you can kind of see various metrics here. So in this one, I like to see the request duration, right, to see kind of how long those requests take. So anything I'd say that's more than 5 seconds is not that great. Let's do it on the last 3 hours. Let's see how that turns out. So I'd say it's reasonably fast, like given the amount of data that's stored, at such granularity, it's able to put out very good detailed like charts and tables. So that's still churning along. So number of incoming requests, success rates, request duration. So it's pretty plentiful, kind of what you're able to see here, right? So, okay, it's 6:42. Let me revert back to the slides. Okay, so just a quick show. We have here other examples of Grafana dashboards here. Okay, this is kind of a memory usage. Here we have disk usage. Okay, network I/O. Example of a query I just shown. Azure Monitor. So,
Hey, Roy, there
yep.
was a question in the chat. I
Okay.
don't know if you saw it on the screen, but it was by Meyer. What is the estimated cost to run this performance demo with auto scale?
Okay. What is the estimated cost with auto scale? So, is it on a per day basis, like kind of what you see, what you see in front of us, like the whole compute, like with 6 nodes? So
Yeah, they didn't say. So yeah, whatever kind of estimate you can give.
let's assume like a month, okay, and you're running this cluster, right? I would say it would be about 1,000, you know, given the VM size, okay, of this. See here right now, okay, there's actually 7 nodes that auto scaled to 7 right now. So, and with a standard D2S V3 size, I would say $1,000, maybe even more, if it's like running at this capacity, this throughput. So let's take a look here. So yeah, we see the cluster auto scaling in action, right? As the number of active pod counts increase, so does the number of nodes. So we're at here, as you can see, number 7. So as this load test quiets down, it will reduce all the way down to 4. So yeah, about $1,000 plus or minus a few hundred. Just rough order of magnitude. Okay, cool. Any other questions?
I think the question is just for this demo. What kind of cost are you
I
looking
would
at?
say 1,000. Like when I look at my cost per month is about 1,000, maybe even more actually. Like depends at what capacity. If it was going at 7, like day 24/7, like 7 nodes, that's like probably around more to 1,000. So. Okay, cool. Anything else? Any other questions?
Nope, no other questions right now.
Okay, cool. So I don't know. I'll hand it back to you, Callan.
Okay, so and that did you cover the summary slide? I think I cut you off right before that.
Yeah, I basically did verbally.
Nothing there for Roy. Roy, your camera's off, but that's okay.
Oh.
Okay, well, thank you everyone
Yep.
for joining our stream. There's another comment.
Oh, thank you, Mayor.
Yeah, there you go.
Awesome.
Yes. So I do have let's see. Let me share my screen. Does anyone else have any more questions before I do the draw? So I'll do a draw for a free personal license for a JetBrains product. I'll give you another 30 seconds or so to do so. It's just going to go off of any comments or questions that are in the chat. So we have 2 people. One of you 2 will win a license. Shows 3 entries, so I think my CTTDNUG that obviously won't count, but okay. Let me share my. Where did it go? Okay, so I'm just going to do a draw.
Oh, there's Bola.
Hey, there you go, Meyer. You win.
Congratulations.
Bola, almost in time. So please DM me. I'll show it here. So DM me at Fly Maverick. I will send you the subscription key for you can pick whatever JetBrains product tool you want. It's personal subscription. And I have 2 more content. Hey, one. Can we access a recording of this? So this is a live stream. So it's on the YouTube channel, the CTTDNUG. It will always be there. So we'll be doing this going forward every month. There'll be no session next month. We'll do in January. If I bring back the slide deck so people can see.
Hey, Caroline, can you like clip it, like the beginning and the end, like you know, like so the start starts right at the beginning of the talk?
I'll look into doing that. I think if we recorded it pre-recorded, we could, but I think live, I don't know if we can. If somebody knows, let me know. But so yeah, no up in December. In January, we're going to be looking to .NET Conf community talk. So we'll review some of the stuff that was announced earlier this month. If you want to be a speaker, please reach out to us. You can present on anything .NET MAUI, Azure. And then when we can start doing these things in person again, then we'll look at doing that. But for now, we're trying the YouTube live stream and see how that goes. So any feedback or comments, greatly appreciated. So Meyer, I will send you your tool, and if no one else has any questions, then Roy, thank you so much for coming and presenting
Thanks for hosting.
On monitoring. I learned a lot. It's really, really cool. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Take care, everyone. Have a good night.
Take care.